All right, this is Hipster GW. Welcome back to another coding tutorial on Unreal Engine. So I'm going to follow up from a tutorial that I did a couple of weeks ago, actually a series of tutorials where I go over building like an interaction type system where you're in the first person and then you can look at something, it draws a bunch of line traces, and where it actually shows what you're looking at down at the bottom. So you can see we're looking at interactable actors, money stacks, interactable characters. Now the way that this system was set up was going off of the display name of what you're looking at inside the scene. So if we go here to our first person character where our line trace is coming out of, we are running this look at function on tick. And then what it does is it updates the HUD with the interactable name. But right now the interactable name is just a display name, right? And then if it isn't interactable, it gets rid of the HUD off of the, right? If we turn off the display so you don't actually see it. So instead of doing the display name, which is kind of annoying because, you know, we don't want it to say, hey, the name of the class, which is what this is. And if we have money here, right, we don't want it to say like money stack BP2. We want it to say $500 or whatever the amount is. So the way that we can do that is by updating our interfaces. So we had an interactable interface right here, and this has one function that we have that is called call interact. And the way it works is we go here, where do we call interact? Let's look at the money stack, for example. So we do call interact. Oh yeah, this is whenever you actually click the interact button. That's what it is. So if we do this, then you can see this, but we can still use, because we're still checking to see if they're interactable, we can still use this interactable interface and add another function that says get interactable name. And so instead of having an input like the call interact, the call interact doesn't even have an input, but you just call this function. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to give it an output of a name. So let me check here. We need the data type. This is a name data type. So we're going to output a name data type, and we'll just call this name as well. And now what we can do is we can override this in every blueprint in every class that inherits from our interactable interface. So you see we have call interact still called here, but now we have this new function get interactable name, and what we could do is we can specify the name. So if we have a money stack here, we have a money amount variable, we can specify for this specific blueprint, just for the money stacks, what it's actually going to display. And so what we can do is put the amount, and we could like append this. Let's append this. How do we append this? Let's go here. Let's do append. I think we need to make it a string or text. Can we do literal? Make literal name? No, we don't want make literal name. We want to do like a format text. So we're going to turn it into text. Here, let's do this. Let's do, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to have to take it from a float to text to a name, but that's okay. So we'll do format text here. We have this function, and then we can put a $sign. Then we're going to put in a variable, which is going to be our dollar amount. And this is how we're going to plug in our dollar amount, and then this will be converted into, it's not compatible with name. Oh, good for me. Yeah, so we can't do to name, but we can do to string, and then we could do to string to name. So we have a little bit going on here, but whatever, it's gonna happen in an instant. And so now, instead of getting the display name, what we can do is get our interactable object. You see, we're checking to see if they are interactable. Okay, if they're not interactable, then we're gonna get rid of it off of the screen. If they are interactable, we're gonna get the interactable name. So we're gonna do get interactable name, this function within our interface that we just ran. And instead of going here, we're gonna get the interactable name first, and then we're gonna plug it in. And you'll see this is gonna work for our money stack because we set it up in the money stack. It's not gonna work for anything else yet. So we'll have to update all our other blueprints. So you see it says $15, $1, $10, $10,000. And so now we could do that, and now you can see the amount. I'm still doing the string because of a previous tutorial that I did, so it isn't displaying it in the Yeah, see display visibility hidden. We're gonna make this visible. Here, let's go here. Now you can see it actually goes up. Boom, boom, boom. But you see we go to this guy and it just displays the previous name of $10,000 because that's what was inside our function. It hasn't updated the function with the new name yet. So you actually have to make sure with the system, you can make sure that it doesn't, we could go here and add another, if there is no interactable name, we could make sure that it does, that we don't display, that we turn off the display. But we want everything to interact with the system, or at least that's how I want it. I want everything that you interact with to have a name. So you just have to make sure that you go into all the blueprints and you override this get interactable name. And so this guy, this interactable character, we would probably want him to have a name. So I'm gonna create a name variable and we'll make it so that you can instance editable, so you can edit it on the map. We're just gonna plug it in. That simple. So you can see how you have the different implementation for the different blueprints. And now if we have our guy here, we're gonna name him, where is it, details? We're gonna name him, we have a name of none. Let's name him Bob Boberson. And now we can go up, we can look at the money, we see the money, but now we see his name is Bob Boberson and nothing else is interactable in the world. And so you can see it doesn't show the text for anything else. But we can duplicate this guy and we can name this guy Rizzo. So we have Bob Boberson, we have Rizzo, and we can have different names, and then we have the interactable names for, the names for the money stacks that are interactable objects. Man, the saying of the words gets really complicated. So hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.